Alrighty, so there are so many questions that I've been getting from everybody just about, why I decided to do or have a breast augmentation, how I did it, the price, the doctor. There's a lot of variables that have gone into it, so I kind of just wanted to sit down, talk about it, obviously, in addition to showing my progress with it. Naturally, my boobs are a B, like a 34B. I rarely wear bras. I'm always wearing sports bras, but that's my original size. So I went from a B to a D. Again, double D at Victoria's Secret, but we all know how those bras run. A lot of people were telling me, you're going to wish you went bigger. So I kept that in mind when I was trying on my boobs. In your first consultation, that's one of the things that you should, if it's a good surgeon, they should be giving you a try-on session where they put the implant. Granted, you're stuffing it in your bra, so it's way different than when it's inside you, but at least it gives you a mindset of, or like a vision of what they will look like. So he initially recommended 325 cc for me. So then I was keeping in mind how everybody says they wish they went a little bit bigger. So I just asked, and I was like, can I try the 350 cc on? And that's equivalent to a D, double D at Victoria's Secret. And he was like, I will be okay with letting you try that size on. I don't think that that's gonna be too fake looking. I think you have enough skin for it and enough size for it. So we tried those on, and we were, both the nurse, Dylan, me, the doctor, we were all blown away about how it actually looked really good. There is a difference from the 325 to the 350, and it still looked great. So it made me feel a lot better knowing that, okay, I'm not gonna regret going into this and looking at myself and be like, wow, I wish I went bigger. I spent all this money and I wish I went a little bigger. So I did the 350s, and I think it was the best decision. I don't think my body could handle 375s, and neither did the doctor. So 350s was perfect. It was a happy medium. Again, he wanted me to do 325, but just with that, I wish it was bigger thing in the back of my head from all my friends, I decided to do 350. So this year, I competed in my first national show, my first two, and at Junior Nationals in Chicago, I placed 3rd place. Now, I'm not saying that I got 3rd over 2nd or 1st because I had small boobs. Competing is very opinionated and subjective, objective, whatever. Every judge is different. Some people want big boobs. Some people don't care about that. It's more of, the presentation. For me, I'm always competing for myself. I don't want to go after what the judges want because it changes from show to show. I'm always just happy with the physique that I bring, and that's the most important thing. But, when you compete, you're opening your mind to a lot of possibilities. You meet people, you see people who have boob jobs, they look great. I just could never afford it. And I'm not the type of person to be really, self-conscious about my boobs because they're smaller, but they're B's. It's not like I have nothing. And again, it's not like an area that I really care about that much. But now I have a big girl job. I'm a nurse. I'm starting to make a salary. Granted, I have student loans to start paying for, but my car's paid off already. I'm sharing rent with Dylan because now we live together. I have a little bit more money now, and I wanted to make a big girl purchase. So that's kind of how I decided that, I've contemplated boobs and maybe this is a good time. And I'm just really curious to see, it gives me enough time to recover before anything happens down the road, with shows or just anything in life in general. So I decided on my doctor, Dr. Heck. He's out of Columbus, Ohio. A lot of my friends have worked with him in the past with their boobs, and he works on a lot of competitors. So it's nice to know that somebody understands the health and fitness side of it. And that's all he advocates. The minute I met him, he said, you know, I don't do over the top, fake, big boobs. I take into account your frame size, your hip size, proportions. Like, that's all he focused on. He did not want to put a size in me that was going to look way off than the rest of my body. And his method that we did for me, and he does it for a lot of his patients, was putting the implant behind the muscle and the incision under the boob. So that's just his favorite. He doesn't do through the nipple, and he doesn't really do in front of the muscle implants as well. And I went with silicone. There's a bunch of silicone brands and stuff, but I went with the Mentor ones. Price-wise, he is one of the better known plastic surgeons in the area, so it was a little on the pricey side, but I guess, you know, they always say you get what you paid for. So I think I would rather spend a little bit more extra money than regretting it and spending less money and maybe they don't turn out as great. So for me, mine were about $7,600. I was lucky enough to get the Care Credit account, and I'm spreading that over 12 months, 0 interest. So it's gonna put a hit to my bank, but, you know, I think it'll be worth it in the end, and I'm very happy. So, you know, recovery-wise, right now he's saying about 3 weeks, 4, before I even start talking or about getting back into the gym or doing cardio. I can go on small walks at a time, but I'm not allowed to be doing 2 miles of walking or stair climber or anything like that right now. It's just really waiting. Like, I'm the first day post, like I had it yesterday, so I'm in the very beginning phases of it. But I woke up this morning still feeling great. I took a small walk to where our post office is to get the mail, and we ran errands together. Like, I'm probably walking a little bit more than I should be, but I feel fine. I really do. It's just sore, really sore. So at the appointment that I showed you guys a little earlier, we took the ACE bandage wrap off, put on the supportive bra that is just super ugly. And yeah, it probably looks really bad right now because there's padding in there to absorb any blood that might be coming from the incision, even though there's almost none. I was really happy when they took that ACE bandage off and I could finally see them. It's a little scary because when you first take them off, they are very swollen up here. I don't know how much I can really show, but they are so hard and swollen. Like, I feel like the mom from Mean Girls when she goes to give you a hug and it's just like a rock. Like, that's how I feel right now.
Hello, sweetheart. Welcome to our home.
That's gonna go down with time. So that's gonna set. Everything's gonna kind of turn up, come out. Right now, this is kind of like the silhouette of it. It's really sore, but that's the silhouette of it. Felt so weird having that ACE bandage off though and switching into this bra because they're just like, they didn't move. And I was like trying to like stay upright without like bending over, and it's just like they wouldn't do anything. They were just standing there, like staying there, which is so weird. But you know, I'm so happy with it, and just looking at myself in the mirror, I was seeing, granted, you know, things might change with when they drop, but they don't look over the top. They don't look fake. They look so good, and I'm so happy with them. I don't want to be like, wow, she got a boob job. I could totally tell. That's not what I wanted from this. I just wanted something full, something to give me cleavage, something to make me feel a little bit more girly, because I do have a pretty flat chest and it's muscular. So, I mean, it's just nice to feel that feminine side. I've never had cleavage, even if I tried wearing a push-up bra. Rarely had cleavage, so it's just really cool to be, if I want to work them and play them up a little bit, I can, but if I want to wear a sports bra or, you know, just a plain old bra, I don't have to worry about them constantly being raised up to my neck. They will look natural if they need to be, and I can make them look a little bit faker, or, you know, just push it up if I needed to. I feel fine. I take about 1 to 3 of the pain meds, and it's just like a really, really strong ibuprofen, basically. So that's all I've been taking. I'm not taking the muscle relaxers. I'm also taking the antibiotic, just, you know, for healing purposes. One really weird thing, and this may not happen with everybody's, but it's completely normal. I asked him about it. I was sitting on the couch last night, icing myself. I've been using peas. These will be your best friend if you ever have a boob job. I just rest it right here, and you can mold the peas to like the boob you want, and on the side. That's the two main areas that really hurt, is just the top and the side. So I've just kind of been holding some peas there, and it feels awesome. But I was sitting on the couch, and I started hearing what I thought was my stomach growling. And I'm like, I'm not hungry. And that's another thing too, I was really not that hungry. And all of a sudden, I realized it was coming from my boobs. So basically, they're putting something into you. A lot of air gets pushed up. So it's the air trying to escape, these little air pockets and bubbles. So it makes these like snap, crackle, pop, like Rice Krispie sounds. And I was thinking, like, that's usually a bad thing. Like that means sometimes like you have like pneumothorax or something like that. Like you learn it in nursing school, that's what you have to listen for, like in the lungs. So I'm hearing this popping, like freaking out, and it's just the air kind of settling around the implant and just trying to recuperate from the surgery. So you'll hear these really weird crackles that sound like Rice Krispies, and it's totally normal. And it'll just go away with time. Once the boobs kind of settle, the air is gonna get, you know, escape back into the body. Another thing too to touch on is from the anesthesia, you will bloat. My stomach, not bad, honestly. I don't think it's horrible. Actually, no, it doesn't look bad at all, especially when I'm standing here. I can feel it a little bit in addition to the pain meds. Those will cause constipation. So that's just normal. I mean, I'm gonna be taking Smooth Moves tea. That always clears me out. It's just like a natural tea that includes senna. It's like a natural ingredient that helps with constipation. So it just clears you all out. So I'm just gonna be taking that throughout the next couple days, just in case I do feel backed up, which I do a little. And it's also TMI maybe, but a little hard to poop because you bear down and then that hurts your boobs, and you're like trying not to hurt your boobs, and I like have to, probably sharing too much information, but that's the truth. I honestly don't know how people complain about it. And again, everyone's different. The way that they get them in is different, but I am swearing by this surgeon. Dr. Heck was amazing. He treated me so well. The nurses were so nice, and it was just a really good process. But that's that. Only limitations that I have right now are obviously I can't work out, I can't do the cardio. I could care less. Like, yeah, that's gonna mess with a lot of people. That's why I'm doing it now when I'm not prepping for a show, and it's the off season, so it's okay, it's fine. I can't, you're not supposed to, raise your hands up above your arms. You have to do everything kind of here. Thankfully for my job in the NICU, a lot of my babies are in isolettes. So your hands are here all the time for the most part. I got this on Monday and I work Friday night. So hopefully everything, you know, goes well. I mean, if my healing goes like it has been and it's kind of like this, obviously I'm really sore. I'm hoping by Friday it's not gonna be as sore. I don't feel concerned about going back to work. It's just a matter of, I work in a very critical setting. So if something were to happen, I'm just hoping that I am able to get there in time and fast enough and move fast enough. Because that's like a life that's at stake, a little baby's life. So I'm really not wanting to put that, like I don't want to harm somebody because I decided to be selfish and get a boob job. That's not the point. I'm gonna be really smart about going back to work, easing into it. If I need to call off, I'll call off because I am not risking anything.
Yeah, so not to soak in the shower too long.
My boobs aren't even touching the water. So, hold on. What's that? I'm kind of help me bring it around to the base of my head.
Bring it around down.
Hold on. Let go.
Try washing that marker off.
I know. I need a... Okay, so we tried showering and that was a struggle. It's really hard because you have to like bend over and have help. Like there is no way you can do that on your own, but you can't raise your arms up above your head, so bending over. I'm surprised I even got this wrapped up on my head, but we did it, and I finally feel clean because I was going on day 3 of nastiness. Hey guys, okay, so we are on day 2, 3-ish of post-op. And there's a couple more questions that have kind of come up within this past day, and a couple more updates just to kind of give you a day by day on like how the healing process goes. So day 3, you're allowed to shower, at least I was. So I had Dylan, as you saw, help me shower, which was not the easiest. Showering, you just can't stay in the shower for a very long period of time. I was probably in there for 10-15 minutes, just, you know, wash my body, get the markings off of my chest from surgery, and just kind of, you know, clean up a little bit. Pain wise, today has definitely been way worse than yesterday. You know, honestly, I still don't think it's that bad. You fall asleep, so you're not taking any pain medicine, so you're gonna wake up feeling the worst of the worst. So I felt really sore this morning, like almost could not even sit up without the help of Dylan. And then I took my pain med and I put some more veggies, iced veggies on my chest, and it felt way better. It's just a matter of having those pain meds kind of kick in, and just, you have to keep up with it. And honestly, I think it's okay. Again, we were running more errands today. I'm gonna have dinner with a friend tonight, so it's really not that bad. It's just, you have to keep up with it. So a few more questions came up. The first one is breastfeeding and pregnancy, and will this affect a breast augmentation? And this was actually one of my questions that I asked my doctor before I even decided that I wanted to do this. And if you get it done the right way, no, it should not affect. I, again, went under the boob for my incision, had nothing to do with the nipple. Breastfeeding will not be a problem. As far as, you know, maintenance wise for your boobs, will this make the boobs not last as long? That no, it should not affect how breastfeeding is. You can still breastfeed. The only thing that might affect it a little bit is the amount of time that your boobs will last. So if you are constantly having children and you're constantly breastfeeding, so like 2+ kids, it's going to shorten the lifespan of your implant. But if you have 1 child or 2 and you breastfeed just like you normally would, you know, it might knock off a couple years of like how long they can last, but he said that you're well off for having these 20 years. Like, there is no reason for it to be less than that. So that was definitely a selling point for me. I really do want to breastfeed, and I'm planning on having children in the future, so I did not want this to interfere with that, and it won't. Another question that somebody asked was, how is my training going to change? So yesterday I mentioned that I will have to be out for several weeks. I'm not rushing it. There's no need to rush. Training wise, I will not have to train my chest as much. So push-ups, pull-ups, pulling exercises, these are, or pushing either. I won't have to be doing that as much. I can, you still can, but there's just really no need, especially for bikini, which is what I compete in. Honestly, like, it's not that big of a deal. It's not like I am doing figure where that it really does matter. So I won't be doing chest as much. I'm still gonna be doing shoulders. I'm sure the weight will be different and feel different when I'm pressing up, when, you know, I'm doing lateral raises. I'm sure it's gonna have, like, take some getting used to, but you know, that's just gonna come with time and I'll learn. Lower body, still gonna stay the same. When I start doing cardio, that's gonna be the first thing that I introduce back into my workout regimen, just because that's what I will be cleared to do. I'm definitely gonna be doing, you know, elliptical, probably more bike than anything, because I can still stay pretty stationary, but keep moving my lower body. So that or stair climber. Those are gonna be the 2 that I'll start with. I will include just some side-by-sides of kind of where I started, and just pictures along the way. Again, I'm going to be posting this video within like the first week of my surgery, so it's definitely not gonna show what my boobs will look like when they're done swelling, because the swelling will last for a while. One area that definitely scares me a little bit because it's a little creepy. My swelling on the sides, like where my lats are, is by far the worst. It looks like I have 4 boobs. Like there's 2 little extra ones right here. And that's just because of the incision that was underneath. That swelling's right around that incision. So that's kind of annoying. And also up here, it's still very swollen and hard. But again, that's just gonna go down with time, and I'm accepting that already. I really hope that you guys found some insight to this. Again, I'm sure there's so many things that I didn't even touch on. So if you do think of anything else, don't be afraid to ask. But I just thought that this would be a little bit more insightful than just showing a before and after picture. And you know, if this is something that you've been contemplating, then hopefully this helps you out a little bit. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.